American rock climber Alex Honnold climbed the Taipei 101 skyscraper on Sunday without any ropes or protective equipment.
In January 2026, Alex Honnold free-soloed Taipei 101, the 508-meter skyscraper in Taiwan. He climbed the entire exterior of the building without ropes or safety equipment. This was the first time in history that an athlete had free-soloed one of the tallest buildings in the world. The event marked a rare transition from natural rock faces to urban architecture, while maintaining the same level of absolute risk. And it elevated Alex Honnold's name to an entirely new level, the foundation of a lifelong passion for climbing. Alex Honnold was born on August 17, 1985, in Sacramento, California. His father, Charles Honnold, was of German descent, and his mother, Deirdre Wolonek, had Polish roots. Both were university professors. Education, logical thinking, and self-reliance were central values in the household. Within that environment, Alex grew up as a quiet, introverted child who tended to keep to himself. Honnold was introduced to climbing at a very young age. At 5 years old, he began climbing at an indoor gym. The activity quickly became routine. By the age of 10, he was climbing regularly and with discipline. During his teenage years, he competed in multiple national and international youth climbing competitions. He never considered himself exceptionally gifted. As he later explained, his progress came from repetition, consistent practice, and memorizing small movements rather than natural talent. In high school, Honnold attended Mira Loma High School and graduated in 2003 through the International Baccalaureate program. Academically, he performed well, but socially he remained withdrawn. He had few close friends and rarely took part in group activities. Climbing gradually became the place where he felt most comfortable. While climbing, external worries faded. What remained were movement, breathing, and complete focus. After graduation, Honnold enrolled in civil engineering at the University of California, Berkeley. This period coincided with several personal losses. His grandfather passed away. His parents divorced. In 2004, his father died suddenly. These events occurred in quick succession and left Honnold emotionally unanchored. Academic life began to feel distant and hollow. Eventually, he made the decision to leave university. The choice was not driven by rebellion, but by a growing sense that he no longer belonged in a classroom. Honnold chose to pursue climbing full-time. He adopted an extremely minimalist lifestyle, traveling by bicycle, sleeping in a tent, and spending as little money as possible. His early years, shaped by family instability and loss, forged a strong sense of independence and resilience. Climbing became his emotional anchor. It helped him manage stress and regain a sense of balance. From this foundation, Alex Honnold's path toward a professional climbing career gradually took shape. From nomadic climbing to the first major breakthroughs. After leaving university, Alex Honnold committed fully to climbing. In 2007, he began living out of a Ford Econoline van. The van was not a symbol of freedom or rebellion. It was a practical solution. It allowed him to follow weather, reduce expenses, and spend as much time on rock as possible. He moved seasonally between climbing areas such as Joshua Tree National Park, Los Angeles area crags, Zion National Park, and Yosemite. In 2016, after nearly a decade on the road, he replaced the old van with a Ram ProMaster, but his lifestyle remained largely unchanged. Between 2007 and 2011, Honnold completed a series of climbs that established his reputation within the climbing community. In 2007, he free-soloed Astroman and the Rostrum in Yosemite National Park, repeating legendary solos first completed by Peter Croft decades earlier. Later that same year, He free-soloed Moonlight Buttress in Zion in approximately 83 minutes. The route is long, steep, and sustained. Completing it without protection placed Honnold among a very small group of climbers capable of such feats. In 2008, Honnold achieved another milestone. He became the first person to free-solo the regular northwest face of Half Dome. The climb took him roughly 2 hours and 50 minutes at the time. The route was considered too long and complex to be soloed without a rope. Honnold's ascent challenged that assumption and hinted at what would later become his defining strength: sustained focus over extreme exposure. Alongside his free solo climbs, Honnold pursued difficult routes with ropes. In 2010, he sent Ambrosia, a V11 boulder problem. In 2011, he completed the Phoenix, rated 5.13A, marking his first successful ascent at that grade. That same year, he climbed Cobra Crack, a demanding 5.14B finger crack. These ascents demonstrated that his abilities extended beyond soloing and included elite technical climbing. Public attention began to follow. In 2008, the short film Alone on the Wall documented his Half Dome solo and introduced him to a wider audience. He later appeared on 60 Minutes, where his calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the risks he described. In 2010, he received the Golden Piton Award for Endurance, recognizing the breadth and consistency of his achievements. This period was defined by steady skill building rather than spectacle. Honnold refined movement, speed, and decision-making. In 2014, sponsor Cliff Bar ended its partnership with him, citing the risks of free soloing. The loss did not change his direction. Instead, it clarified his priorities. By the early 2000s, Alex Honnold had quietly laid the foundation for the historic climbs that would soon follow. Career peak, records, and free solo milestones. By the early 2000s, Alex Honnold had moved beyond being an exceptional climber and entered a phase defined by record-setting performances. This period combined speed climbing, long link-ups, and increasingly ambitious free solo ascents. In 2012, Honnold and Hans Florin set a new speed record on the nose route on El Capitan, completing the climb in 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 46 seconds. The nose is nearly 900 meters tall and involves complex route finding. That same year, Honnold completed the Yosemite Triple Crown Solo, Mount Watkins, El Capitan, and Half Dome in 18 hours and 50 minutes. The link-up required sustained endurance, efficient movement, and minimal rest. In 2015, Honnold partnered with Tommy Caldwell for the Fitz Traverse in Patagonia. The traverse linked multiple peaks along the Fitzroy Massif in a single push. The ascent was completed in difficult weather and earned the Piolet d'Or, one of the highest honors in alpinism. The award recognized commitment, efficiency, and style rather than raw difficulty, alongside speed records. Honnold continued to expand the boundaries of free soloing. In 2014, he free soloed El Sendero Luminoso in Mexico in approximately 3 hours. The route is long, steep, and sustained, with very limited opportunities for rest. In 2016, he completed the Complete Scream in Northern Ireland, linking multiple routes into a single continuous solo. The defining moment of his career came in June 2017. Honnold free-soloed the freerider route on El Capitan in 3 hours and 56 minutes. The climb involved more than 30 pitches and sections rated up to 5.13A. No climber had ever free-soloed a big wall of that difficulty. The ascent was performed without rehearsal on the day itself, relying entirely on years of preparation and memorization. The achievement was widely described as unprecedented in modern sport. Honnold's climbing during this period was not limited to Yosemite. In 2011, he explored the Ennedi Desert in Chad, opening new routes on remote sandstone towers. In 2018, he climbed in Queen Maud Land, Antarctica, applying his skills in extreme cold and isolation. In 2022, he traveled to Greenland, where he climbed the peak Ingmikortilaq with Hazel Findlay. In 2023, he returned to Patagonia and Alaska, including an ascent of Devil's Thumb with Caldwell. Several major achievements define this peak period. These include the free solo of El Capitan in 2017, the speed record on The Nose in 2018, when Honnold and Caldwell lowered the time to 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 7 seconds, the free solo of Half Dome in 2008, and the Hurt Traverse in 2022, a 32-hour endurance link-up. He also continued to establish and climb new routes, including Triple Rainbow in 2024. Scientific interest followed his accomplishments. In 2016, an fMRI study examined Honnold's brain responses to fear. Researchers found reduced activity in the amygdala when he viewed images designed to trigger fear. Honnold explained this not as fearlessness, but as preparation. His stated philosophy was simple: fear disappears when uncertainty is removed. This period reshaped how free soloing was viewed. Honnold demonstrated that extreme risk could coexist with discipline and restraint. His influence extended beyond individual climbs, altering standards within the climbing community and redefining what preparation could achieve. The Taipei 101 Ascent, a turning point from natural rock to urban climbing. On January 25, 2026, Alex Honnold free-soloed Taipei 101, a 508-meter, 1,667-foot skyscraper with 101 floors in Taipei, Taiwan. The climb was originally scheduled for the previous day, but was postponed due to weather conditions. Honnold ascended the exterior of the building without ropes or safety equipment. The climb took between 1 hour and 31 to 35 minutes, with technical difficulty estimated around 5.11. The entire ascent was broadcast live on Netflix under the title Skyscraper Live. The idea of climbing a skyscraper had been with Honnold for more than a decade. Unlike rock walls, buildings offer repetitive features, artificial textures, and unfamiliar failure modes. When Netflix approached him with the Taipei 101 project, the offer included a mid-six-figure payment. Honnold later stated that compensation was not the deciding factor. He said he would have completed the climb without pay. What mattered was the scale, the novelty, and the opportunity to test himself in a new environment. Unlike his remote mountain ascents, the Taipei 101 climb unfolded in front of a live audience. Thousands of spectators gathered below, and millions more watched online. For Honnold, this was unusual. Most of his free solos occurred in isolation. Here, crowd noise, cameras, and urban surroundings became part of the challenge. He later described the experience as mentally different, but technically familiar. The focus remained the same: execute each movement correctly. The ascent marked a historic first. No climber had ever free-soloed a building of this height. The achievement surpassed previous urban climbs by figures such as Alain Robert, whose ascents were performed on shorter structures and often with safety systems nearby. The Taipei 101 climb quickly entered popular culture. It was referenced in news coverage worldwide and parodied on Saturday Night Live. Comparisons were drawn between Honnold's earnings and salaries in mainstream sports, with commentators noting the contrast between extreme risk and relatively modest financial reward. From a career perspective, the climb represented a shift. Honnold moved from traditional rock climbing into large-scale urban buildering. Despite the new setting, his approach did not change. Preparation remained exhaustive. Risk assessment remained strict. He emphasized that having a family did not alter his standards. He only attempted the climb because he believed it was controllable. The Taipei 101 ascent reinforced Honnold's core principle. He climbs not to shock or provoke, but because the challenge exists and can be solved. In doing so, he expanded the definition of what free soloing could be: personal life and philosophy. Despite international recognition, Alex Honnold has maintained a deliberately simple lifestyle for more than a decade. He lived primarily out of a van, minimizing expenses to maximize time spent climbing. In 2017, he purchased a home in Las Vegas, chosen for its proximity to climbing areas rather than for comfort or status. Even after settling there, he continued to spend much of the year traveling for climbs. Honnold met Sandy McCandless in 2015. Their relationship developed alongside his climbing career, often documented during extended trips. They married in 2020. The couple has 2 daughters, June, born in 2022, and Alice, born in 2024. Parenthood introduced new responsibilities, but Honnold has stated that it did not change his standards for risk. He continues to climb only when he believes conditions and preparation make success likely. At the core of his philosophy is a clear distinction between challenge and recklessness. Honnold often summarizes his approach with a simple idea: he climbs to solve problems, not to die. Each free solo is preceded by extensive rehearsal, route study, and physical conditioning. If uncertainty remains, he walks away. He views time as finite and believes that meaningful effort should be directed toward pursuits that matter deeply. Fear is not absent from his experience. Honnold acknowledges moments of anxiety, particularly when conditions change or fatigue sets in. He manages fear through repetition and familiarity. The more he practices a route, the less space fear occupies. This approach reflects a broader belief that emotional control is a learned skill. Family influence remains significant. His mother, Deirdre Wolownik, began climbing later in life and went on to climb El Capitan in her 70s. Her example reinforced Honnold's view that limits are often self-imposed through his personal choices and philosophy. Honnold presents a model of deliberate living. He prioritizes purpose over comfort and preparation over bravado, both on and off the rock. Philanthropy, books, and film. Influence beyond climbing. As his climbing career advanced, Alex Honnold began to focus increasingly on impact beyond personal achievement. In 2012, he founded the Honnold Foundation. The organization supports community-based renewable energy projects, primarily solar power, in underserved regions around the world from the beginning. Honnold committed to donating roughly 1/3 of his income to the foundation. The projects focus on practical outcomes: electricity for schools, medical clinics, and clean water systems, rather than symbolic gestures. The foundation emphasizes measurable results and long-term partnerships. Honnold's environmental focus aligns with his lifestyle. He has consistently linked climate stability to the preservation of natural climbing environments. For him, environmental work is not separate from climbing. It is a necessary extension of it. The foundation operates globally, partnering with local organizations to ensure projects are maintained after installation. In 2015, Honnold published Alone on the Wall, co-written with David Roberts. The book traces his early life, climbing philosophy, and approach to risk. It avoids dramatization and focuses on decision-making, preparation, and personal motivation. The memoir helped clarify his mindset for a broader audience and established him as a thoughtful voice within adventure sports. Film and media amplified his reach significantly. In 2018, the documentary Free Solo chronicled his ascent of El Capitan. The film won the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature and introduced free solo climbing to a global audience. Rather than focusing solely on danger, the film emphasized preparation, discipline, and relationships. Honnold continued working in long-form media. In 2024, he starred in Arctic Ascent, which combined exploration, climbing, and climate science. That same year, The Devil's Climb documented alpine objectives in remote terrain. Earlier, in 2021, he co-hosted the podcast Climbing Gold, discussing climbing history, ethics, and modern challenges. Honnold has also appeared in films such as Valley Uprising and The Alpinist, contributing context rather than spectacle, across books, film, and philanthropy. His influence follows a consistent pattern. He uses visibility to promote environmental responsibility and to present extreme sport as a discipline grounded in preparation, restraint, and purpose. Legacy and influence. A living legend of climbing. Over the course of 2 decades, Alex Honnold has reshaped how free solo climbing is understood. Before his rise, free soloing was often viewed as impulsive and reckless. Honnold reframed it as a discipline defined by preparation, repetition, and restraint. His climbs demonstrated that risk could be managed through methodical practice rather than bravado. This shift influenced how younger climbers approach difficulty, safety, and decision-making. Honnold's impact extends beyond technique. He became a reference point for an entire generation of climbers who value efficiency, honesty, and self-awareness. In 2018, he received the Robert and Miriam Underhill Award, recognizing outstanding achievement in mountaineering and service to the climbing community. The award acknowledged not only his climbs, but also his conduct and influence. Looking ahead, Honnold has stated that he hopes to continue climbing into his 80s, adjusting style and objectives as his body changes. He remains focused on exploratory projects in places such as Greenland and Antarctica, where isolation and commitment matter more than publicity. Honnold's legacy lies in balance. He represents the idea that extreme ambition can coexist with responsibility to oneself, to family, and to the environment. His career stands as proof that courage, when paired with discipline, can redefine the limits of human performance. Conclusion. Alex Honnold's journey traces a clear arc. He began as a quiet child in Sacramento who found focus on artificial walls. He became a climber who redefined what was possible on natural rock. In 2026, his free solo ascent of Taipei 101 extended that legacy into the urban world. His career delivers a consistent message. Fear is not eliminated by bravado, but by preparation. Ambition must be paired with judgment. Honnold's story encourages the pursuit of meaningful challenges without ignoring responsibility. As long as new problems exist and preparation remains possible, Alex Honnold's path forward remains open.